Hello and welcome to HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. We have several articles to discuss, so let's get started. Even if Bigfoot isn't real, we still need him. That's always a possibility, and this is by Laura Krantz, the host and one of the producers of Wild Thing, which is a great podcast, by the way. Great article by Laura about her time sort of looking into the Sasquatch legend. And of course, she was able to kind of get her foot in the door because of the fact that her last name is Krantz, much like Grover Krantz, because she is a distant cousin, or I think first or second cousin of Grover Krantz, the late Grover Krantz. So, really fascinating article, and I highly recommend everybody check it out. The link, of course, will be below in the description. Legend of Bigfoot is alive and well in the Santa Cruz Mountains. This is Mike Rugg and his Bigfoot Discovery Museum, who have, well, Mike Rugg has the museum in Felton, California, close to Santa Cruz. For 13 years, he's been the keeper of all things Bigfoot in Santa Cruz. His shack on Highway 9 has become a repository for alleged sightings and perceived encounters. And there's even been reports in the Santa Cruz area and in the Felton area, which Mike has discussed on the video blogs that he used to produce, that were once produced. He needs to get back to doing that again, if you ask me. I would love to see if he did, if he were to reproduce a video blog like he had. We have a passing to report on, although this person actually passed away 2.5 years ago. Linda Coyle Suchi, she was the author of Who's Watching You, and I had the opportunity to meet Linda at the first Yakima Bigfoot Roundup. She was a very sweet lady. She even gave me a hug, which I wasn't expecting. And I think she really enjoyed meeting people, and she enjoyed being there at the Yakima Bigfoot Roundup. I got her her book there when I was there, and when I met her, and she signed the book for me. And this is sort of a late announcement, you might say, because she actually passed away in October of 2016. But I guess Lauren didn't get the news until just recently. But I saw it on Linda's Facebook page. Her daughter posted it. So, but I'm glad that we now know that she did pass away. It's unfortunate, it's sad, but at least we know. At least now the wide world of cryptozoology knows. Small Town Monsters has released On the Trail of Bigfoot, which is really tremendous, by the way. I actually got my copy last Friday and watched it and really enjoyed it. It was really great. And it's more of a personal project for him, because it's him actually going out and embarking on this journey himself, a journey in search of answers, you might say. But some really good stuff. The documentary is tremendous. I would highly recommend getting it if you haven't already gotten it. Of course, I highly recommend all of Small Town Monsters productions, whether it's on Bigfoot-like creatures, or it's the Mothman, or Champ the lake monster, or even the weird happenings on Chestnut Ridge in Pennsylvania. Small town monsters is the way to go, and the next subject they're going to cover after this year is UFOs. The subject of the next on the Trail of is going to be UFOs. So that should be quite fascinating. What with the resurgence in popularity of UFOs thanks to Project Blue Book, should be quite fascinating, should be quite interesting. And I'm looking forward to more from Small Town Monsters. This year they're going to have Terror in the Skies about the winged creatures that inhabit our ionosphere, as it were. And also Momo about the Missouri Monster, which is a Bigfoot type creature, but there's all kinds of weird stuff involving that as well. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. I actually received Lyle Blackburn's brand new book yesterday, Momo, The Strange Case of the Missouri Monster. And there's all kinds of interesting stuff in that book. And I'm just getting into the book, but amazing, interesting case. It all started with a couple of women on a picnic in 1971. Now, this says it began July 11th, 1972. It actually started the year before in July, just about 2 miles from Marzolf Hill. Marzolf Hill is a famous location where the Momo was seen and where it may have lived. But the basic description of this creature is about 6 to 7 foot tall, covered with hair, with a pumpkin-shaped head, like a pumpkin-like head. The hair actually covers its face, so you can't see the face at all. It's a wonder the thing can actually see out through the hair. And it apparently has 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot. And there was a footprint cast of one of the footprints, which shows what apparently is a 3-toed individual. Now, I realize that some anthropologists have said, well, how can a large primate support itself and support its massive weight on just 3 toes on each foot? Well, that's a good question. But apparently creatures like the Fouke monster, the Honey Island swamp monster, and Momo are able to walk around with only 6 toes, 3 toes on each foot. So your guess is as good as mine as to how these large primates can walk around like that. But as I mentioned, there's going to be a Momo documentary as well coming up sometime this fall from Small Town Monsters. It'll actually be hosted by Lyle Blackburn. He's going to be the on-screen host. It's going to be very much like In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. Well, they would occasionally have him show up on the screen. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty fascinating. It is a fascinating case. Momo is a fascinating case. And this is the illustration of what Momo may look like, or may have looked like. You can see the large bulbous head, covered with hair, with 3 toes on each foot, and 3 fingers on each hand. Does a real-life monster roam the Missouri wilderness? I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the eyes or what that is. But this is a very unusual creature. This is apparently a sketch. Looks like one of the original sketches. But not only was this a case of a Sasquatch type creature, but it was also a case of it delves into the paranormal. I mean, you've got your UFOs, your strange lights in the sky, and things of that nature. Oh, and disembodied voices. In other words, voices that just come out of nowhere, almost as if they're spirits. Very, very strange. I'll definitely have a review of Momo, the Missouri Monster, or the Strange Case of the Missouri Monster book. Whenever I finish the book. But very fascinating case. Very strange case as well. And there were actually sightings in other parts of the surrounding area of Louisiana, Missouri. Not just in Louisiana, Missouri, but also in other towns. Towns not very far from Louisiana. So it's what you might call a regional phenomenon. It sort of branched out beyond Louisiana and Marzolf Hill, you might say. You can see another illustration of the Missouri Monster wading across the Cuivre River. Not sure how that's pronounced, but that's the word that they have right here, the Cuivre River. Not really sure how to pronounce that. But you can see this illustration, and of course the one thing that a lot of these illustrations have in common is the hair coming down over the face. And also the Minerva monster, interestingly enough, appears to have hair coming over its face, over its eyes. That was some of the descriptions of the Minerva monster. That it had hair that came down over its eyes and over its face. Even the Fount monster had the same sort of feature, where it appeared that it had hair basically over its mouth and over its nose. But interestingly enough, you could see the eyes. So anyway, fascinating stuff, and that's going to do it for this week's HBM's Crypto Corner. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. And I'm going to keep you updated on the further speakers at the Bama Bigfoot Conference, the one that I'll be speaking at and also emceeing. So, you guys take it easy and stay tuned. Y'all be good and be good at it. This is May-HBM's Crypto Corner.